That is a classic story of how we got here today. We were just here
Absolutely.
talking about Melanie,
I
Melanie
love her.
Safka.
Yep.
She was what is that? Is that Czechoslovakian or
She
Romanian?
was Ukrainian, half Ukrainian.
Ukrainian.
I
There
think
you go.
her dad was Ukrainian and she was in a New Yorker.
Right.
And yeah, so
Well, do you
it's
know her
Ukrainian.
story?
I know a little bit about her story, but tell the Woodstock story for anyone who doesn't know.
Well, I love Melanie's story. So, like, she was that first person I got to see.
Mm-hmm.
I think my first rock and roll show
No way.
was Melanie.
No way.
And I can't remember if she either opened up or she was top billing or somebody. And then it
Mm-hmm.
was a weird experience. It was in my hometown of Morristown, New Jersey. There was a little
Okay.
movie theater that had switched over into doing live performance shows in the movie theater when it wasn't showing movies. So they had a nice stage there. Sure
Beautiful.
enough, and then my mom somehow was involved with the whole music scene and coming in there somehow. She gets so happy. She's like, "Yo, here I got some tickets for the
What a cool
show down
mom.
there, and it's Melanie, and you're gonna, she's great, and blah blah blah, whatever." And I was like really young and went to this like thing, but I also saw AC/DC in that same
Wow.
theater. I mean, when they came, AC/DC was a theater of about 3,000 people.
This is so cool.
Very weird little theater, Morristown, New Jersey. If anybody knows about it, give me a thumbs up.
Okay, Morristown, New
Because you
Jersey. I
know,
didn't know they had a
because
scene.
that's what we're gonna do. Before we're done, I'm gonna challenge everybody who I know to get into this game. Because if I can do it, you can do it. And if you know, I'm a dumb shit, as you know. So,
No, you're
uh,
not. No, you're not a dumb shit.
oh come on, I'm just like any other regular guy. But I think if you see it too, you're gonna want to jump in because it's a kind of a game you play for yourself anyway. So you know, it's like some things we do, like all the things we've done to get ready. Like I used to run cross country, long distance running, and there's more time spent running than there is anything else. So yeah, it's not always fun, and it becomes a thing you want to do for yourself. You know, so you just like and you know, you're not going to win every race. In fact, I didn't win a race. I never won a race, but I played and I finished every race. You see, so sometimes just winning is finishing. Like I'm way more interested in the last place person of every single race than I am in the first place person of every single race. Because I want to know what it was like and how come you keep coming back. Like when do you quit? Never. So we never give up. This is the kind of thing. So we were talking also about sort of Melanie, and the Melanie was on the Johnny Cash show, and there was one little scene. They did a really cute duet together. It was called like guitar and my guitar, and then how the guitar got together and had a little mini guitar or something. I can't. It was so cute, and they sang it together in golden earrings and all this kind of thing. And he, he had a thing. He liked her, so she was cute, and she fit right in, and then kind of made her stronger. But she had some good background, good management, so to speak. I think she married her husband. So anyway, she came off the streets of New York. She 17, 18 years old. She had been busking in Greenwich Village in the subways down there, getting her street cred. Okay, that's where you really. I mean, in those times, any time in New York City is going to be a life and death experience. It's going to be one of those things. New York City is not a kind. It's not a kind place. Everything you do there, for me, my experience for New York has been every step seemed like a pretty arduous task. Not to say I didn't love every arduous task, but it just seemed like New York has a real serious nature to it. But that's why I got to California. So we have a very non-serious nature here. We get it takes a while to get stuff done. So I took I'd rather be in a good environment in a slow and steady race than anything else. So what we were talking about is Johnny Cash, and Johnny Cash was up there in Casita Springs because Renee, my angel from another mother, is going to be coming out to live in Casita Springs up in Ojai. She's going to open up some kind of music thing with Mark Tovar. He just had, who played? Chris Isaac just played at the Libby Bowl last night. You should have been there.
Wow, I love Chris Isaac. What a
See, we should
wicked
have been there.
game
You could
we
have been there with.
play.
You could have been there with Mark. He didn't
I
even
could
need
have
to
been
be there.
there. He's got to write me back. I got to write him again. I
Come on,
messaged
all he has
him.
to
Come
do
on,
is
Mark.
put you
Come
on
on,
the
Mark.
phone, and you can do live from fucking Mark's pocket. I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh, we got to do
Crazy.
that. Like Chris Isaacs too. That's so good.
I mean, I bet it was good. Okay, because it's only. I mean, I got some pictures of that, and I'll send them to you. I'm gonna send them
I
to
want to see that
Jay,
for real.
Angel, but
Yay.
I don't want to bore the crap. So anyway, we're taping live right now from this most amazing place in Ventura. It's overlooking the beach at the seaward exit of 101,
Mhm.
if you know where that is. And there's a hilltop office building. It's a kind of a neat modern architectural piece. I really like it. And since they put the new solar panels, it really is really remarkable. And it's for the county. What do they call it? The county bank. It's the credit union has their office here, and it's just a really nice campus. I'd like to come here and have my talk with you, so we can be out in the open, right? Okay, so enough of that. What we're talking about is
Star
back to the game.
Lounge. Star Lounge.
Star Lounge. We were talking about. That guy.
Johnny
I mean, so
Cash. Yeah, we were talking
anyway,
about Johnny Cash.
I'm a fan of Johnny Cash, and I'm a fan of Melanie, and they're great. So go and take some minute and go spend some time with them. But everybody has stuff, and nobody's perfect, and idols are such to be knocked off the podium.
But tell
Okay.
the story about the Star Lounge and Johnny Cash in Ventura.
Well, I mean, I still want to play there. I have never really. I played one time at the Star Lounge. I'm a drummer, and I played with a reggae band, and it seemed like it was good, but I didn't get a call back. So what can I say? I gave everything I had there. But I want to go back and play with my other surf bands, just the Star Lounge, because this is where Johnny Cash used to go and try out new music with his bar friends and whatever. Now, back in the 50s and 60s, Main Street, and still they were just all these streets in California were designed for cruising. Cruising is like a thing you do when you get a new car. It's like a thing you do when you got a great car. It's like going up and down Main Street is some really cool thing, and that became pretty much a pastime in California, particularly in the 50s and 60s. Now, Ventura, where I'm from, is a racing town. We're a car town. We got racing. We got the X Games here. We got the big fairgrounds. I mean, it's a big deal to be in this part of Ventura, and lots of stuff happening all the time. So it's good to be coming live to you on last week on WholEarth, because what a doozy. Did you see what just happened? I mean, we have literally in the big one vote. The difference between what it was and what it was like, and what it's like now. So what it was like and what it's like now. What it was like is we had a social safety net in place to take care of a lot of our folks and take care of the WholEarth people. But it wasn't complete. It was starting in the right direction, but it had always been a battle with these guys from the Republican, what they call conservatives, but it's really just mean-spirited, and turns out to be a continuation of the Nazi Party. Through the Bush, through the Cheney legacy, it comes directly through, and here we are now, and now we're fighting this complete insanity, and we've gotten basically a coup d'etat happening in the United States government as I speak. So, time for little old Lance Charles, Lanson Charles at Lanson. I go by all these names, but I fell up at Lanson. I like Atlanson because it feels like the son of Thoth, the Atlantean, right? So Atlanson. So maybe I'm channeling Thoth right now, because once you've spent some time with the Hermetic principles, you start to see through all of the complete nonsense that's happening in what's government. And then you can really see what the mean spirit that's happening in the world today as it comes to this Trump regime. The thing we need to figure out is how we're going to get it back as quickly as possible, because we are going to slaughter them, maybe, if we are allowed to vote. See, it's getting to be something like one of these things where every day that goes by, we get less and less the ability to just simply vote these people off, out of our way. And this is what happens until we go into a situation like a civil war, and then we have to come back and do this thing. Like where the Lincoln person, okay, the Trump, the traitor in chief, the Trump traitor, has the audacity to invoke the Abe Lincoln persona next to his name. I have no idea how that could be even possible. And there's no question that Lincoln had a few flaws, but his flaws were probably pretty much towards the idea of, of the people, by the people, for the people. And that's what I'm working on in my next chapter at the WholEarth Industries. We're designing a new book. We're creating new storylines to find a way. Instead of the end of the world scenario, we're going to be designing the beginning of the world scenario. At the end of this particular world, this is the apocalypse of the time that we are in. But we're going to turn around and make something better happen. We're going to do it in here, first of all, and then we're going to give it away. See? What do you think, Renee?
Yeah, I wanted you to also mention the Reagan thing about how this, like Trump likening himself to Lincoln and then Reagan, and like, what is going on with all this?
Well, actually, Reagan likening himself to Lincoln is pretty despicable as well. But the funny thing about Ronald Reagan is that he grew up in the same town that my father grew up in. He played in the high school, competing with my father's high school, and they were kind of like semi, and they both made. I don't know. My dad felt like he was a success, with his position at Prudential Insurance Company, and I think well after that he decided to go off into the banking industry and work. He worked with Lehman Brothers. And I don't know if he was involved with any of the shenanigans. I probably wasn't. His department was someplace else. But, there were shenanigans going there. But I don't know if he was. Maybe no. You never know. So, but anyway, the goal is that Galesburg, Illinois, you see, and Knox College is in Galesburg, Illinois. Knoxville is the town right next to Galesburg. It's confusing. It's Illinois. It's right near Springfield, but this is where Lincoln used to hang out with his buggy. He would go around Galesburg with his buggy practicing law. He was an ambulance chaser, kind of. Looking for, new gigs. He would go around and meet people and so forth. He was very, very amicable like this, okay? There was the famous speech that he made the Douglas debate was at Knox College, where my dad went to college. He was a summa cum laude at Knox College in the area of economics. Okay, so it's like I don't know. I mean, this is what happens. So there's a little bit of connection there. Now you want to look at Lincoln. So if you talk with Lincoln, different people have different opinions about Lincoln. Everything I've seen about Lincoln shows me that he was the real deal, and he was a really just a really good guy. Kind of like the way we see Jasmine Crockett appearing when it comes right down to it. She just goes back to the basics of what's in her heart, asks for guidance from her better angels, and sure enough presents, a coherent and super intelligent young dark-skinned lady. Boom. Like Hathor, the queen of the Egyptian goddess Hathor, she brings the calm stability of the woman to the program instead of the, basically hysterical rantings of the goofballs on the Trump thing. They're just caught up in a lie and repeat the lie over and over again, right? What else you got?
Okay, so we wanted to talk a little bit more about we the people. We wanted to talk a little bit more about the Constitution and why it's being risked right now. Let's get into some constitutional stuff.
Well, did you see the thing I sent you to read in my last, I think it was the last text. But
Okay, let me
kind
open
of
it.
going through the idea of we the people, by the
Mhm.
people, for the people. It's of the people, by the people, for the people. This is the experiment that we're engaged with here in this country. And it's a slightly different situation, but is actually taken hold because of, the last 60 years of intense marketing in a campaign to appear peaceful. It's taken on the root. Now, remember, this is a slingshot. So, of the people, by the people, for the people is not an original idea. It turns out it comes from Native American culture, from the Iroquois tribes, who realized that the focus on building a mound was way more gratifying than the focus on killing each other. The stairway to heaven, so to speak. The connection to the galaxy, the understanding that they weren't alone in this galaxy, right? This is what drew them and created the situation. Here we are at this crossroads. Can you feel it now? We're literally going through the 25, the 5, 25, 25 today is the portal. Honestly, I've been feeling a little bit groggy myself. I'm a little bit, fatigued from going through the massive incursion of energy hitting us from the sun right now, and the massive incursion of energy hitting us from the center of the galaxy right now. Can anybody else feel that? If you can, let me know in the comment section.
We did have a question about what a portal is.
It's hard to describe. You just have to know it. Well, look, if you see numbers like this, okay, so 25 is a 5 times 5, right? And the other one is 25, and it's 5 times 5, right? There's 5. You see 5 everywhere, right? 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. If you can see that, then you've gone through a portal. If you can't see it, then you're not ready. So probably find something else to do. You might want to watch something else, because we're talking about this kind of, you have to be able to see it and imagine where you are and where we're going in order to get there. It doesn't doesn't come to everybody. It just comes to those people who are ready to go. So what else? Another question for me? There's questions people are asking. This is great. Thank you for
Yes,
doing it.
yes, people are asking questions. So somebody said, it scrolled up, but it was about the U.S. Constitution, and it said something like, Trump is basically defecating on the Constitution. And I think that's something that a lot of people are saying, by the way. I think that that's the general attitude right now, is that the Constitution is under attack.
All right. There you go. So how do we defend it? What could you possibly do to defend it besides just understand what it is, believe what it is, know the difference? Do you have the wisdom to know the difference? That's the question. So if you don't have the wisdom to know the difference, gain the wisdom to know the difference by reading the Constitution over and over again. Remember, okay, so the Christ consciousness comes to the Iroquois people. They have the Christ consciousness. We have the unified North American, South American consciousness has hit the planet for 5,000 years. It's basically, it comes down to the fact that there's plenty of for everyone anywhere you want to go if you just look around. Like, there's food in the forest to go eat. there's something to live with, just go build a house. There's a clean stream right over there. In those days, you could guarantee that every stream was a clean stream. It hasn't been since we showed up that we can't trust the water. We brought all this nasty pollution above ground where it shouldn't be. They had already gone past that. Okay, we're going to go past it too. Like, we're in the process of going past it. You're not going to need this stuff anymore. Okay, because you're an eternal soul and you're on a ride and this is your body. Take it or don't. This is what's happening. If you want to argue, go to the mirror. I'm not interested in doing that. So what we're doing is playing a whole earth game. There's plenty here for everyone. Get on board, get my book. See if my board of directors is any good. I think we're good. I think we're strong. We have a basically a scenario. If I bring these people together, we're going to have a better result. Whatever the challenge is, I'm going to bring Nikola Tesla in for energy. I'm going to bring Walt Disney in for creativity. I'm going to bring John Todd in for clean water and food. I'm going to get Jeff Lawton here. We're going to start a food forest where you can just walk out and eat. What a weird concept. We'll bring Fukuoka in and see what he has to say about making seed balls that we can just put there so that we can come back and eat, right? Clean water, food, someplace to live. There's plenty for everyone. It's how we decide that we want to go back. And as quickly as possible, because here we are. Now, what's going on energetically is we're getting an upgrade. We're moving forward. So if you feel this and you resonate with it, give me a like and a share. If not, you're still welcome. We'll see you next time. There's plenty for everyone on One Whole Earth.
You're one of the very, very few people getting this message.